Now is the time to start with the magnetic effect of current. In the previous chapter, chemical and thermal effects were discussed. So first we will start with the concept of magnetic field. So magnetic effect of current means that whenever we have a current carrying conductor, then a magnetic field is produced around it. So first of all, let's try to understand the magnetic field. What is the magnetic field and how does it operate? So let's say we have a charge which is at rest, and it is at rest at a point P. Now let's say we have a wire having current I. So the situation is, there is a current I in the wire and there is a particle Q at position P which is at rest. Now it will experience no force. So this means that the electric force between these two things is almost negligible. Now what will happen if the situation is changed a little bit? What if this charge is now moved? So we are considering the situation in which the electric force is negligible on Q due to I wire, current I. So we are considering this scenario. But what happens if the charge is now moving? Let's say the charge is moving in this direction, velocity is in this direction. So what will happen is that there will be a force acting on the particle, on the charged particle, and that force will not be because of electric component, because we just now said that the electric field is very negligible here. So when the charge moves, then there is another force which is acting. So magnetic force will apply a force on the charge Q, and the charge Q will move in this direction like this, in a curved path. So what is this magnet? Whenever the charges are moving, then the magnetic fields are produced and they can affect each other. So magnetic field or magnetic force is produced whenever the charges are in motion. So when charge moves, it generates magnetic field or magnetic force. So this is the main crux of these two experiments. Now what is magnetic field? What is magnetic field and what is magnetic field intensity B? So whenever we have a non-contact force, so to properly explain that how does that non-contact force is applied from one object to another, we use the concept of a field as discussed earlier. So magnetic field is the field for magnetic force which carries the information of a magnetic force to another charged particle which is moving. So what are the properties of magnetic field? So the following properties are there. So first is, if there is one line through point P such that if velocity of particle is along this line, there is no magnetic force. We define the direction of magnetic field to be along this line, and the direction is not uniquely defined, but there are two opposite directions along any line. So what is this first point saying is that we will have a situation in which if the particle is moving in that particular direction, let's say the particle is moving in this particular direction, so then no magnetic force will be applied on this. So there is a situation like this also. Also, if the speed of particle is v and it makes angle theta with line identified in the point of that we discussed, then the magnitude of the magnetic force is given by v sin theta. So ultimately when we discuss everything, the magnetic force is related to the magnetic field by this formula, F equal to QVB sin theta n cap. So this is the formula for force, magnetic force, and it shows the relationship between magnetic force and magnetic field. Just like we had a relationship between electric force and electric field, the relationship was like this, QE. So similarly we have a relation between magnetic force and magnetic field. So what is important here is that the let's try to put different angles. Theta 0 degree. What is theta? Theta is the angle between velocity of particle and the magnetic field. Theta equal to 90 degree, theta equal to 180 degree. So V is along, velocity of particle is along magnetic field B. V is opposite to the direction of magnetic field intensity B. V is perpendicular to magnetic field intensity B. So in this case the magnetic force will be 0 because sine 0 degree is 0. In this case the magnetic force will be QVB because sine 90 degree is 1. In this case the magnetic force will be 0 because sine 180 degree is 0. Let's say the angle is 270 degree, that is V is anti-perpendicular or perpendicular in opposite direction to magnetic field B. So in this case the magnetic force will be minus QVB because sine 270 degree is minus 1. So the situations can be shown like this, V and B. This is V, this is B. V and B opposite. This is B and this is V. 270 degree, 180 degree, 90 degree and 0 degree. So this is the situation. So this means that when the velocity of the particle is along the magnetic field, then no force will be applied by the magnetic field, and because of that the magnetic field cannot do any work. Magnetic field cannot do any work, or magnetic force cannot do any work because it only applies force when the direction between velocity and magnetic field intensity is 90 degree, 270 degree and so on. So which means we know that work done is Fs cos theta. So which means cos 90, cos 270 and so on, they are equal to 0. So work done will be 0 because the force is applied perpendicular to the velocity. So now let's discuss about the motion of a charged particle. Motion of a charged particle in a uniform magnetic field B. So the motion can be given by Q. Let's say the magnetic field is like this. Now remember the notation. This means out and this means in. So here the magnetic field is inside, and let's say the particle is moving like this in this velocity. So we know that they are perpendicular because the magnetic field is going inside. and the velocity is like this, so the angle between them is 90 degree. So ultimately what will happen is that there will be a force acted on this particle and it will move in a circle. How? So the formula will be qvb equal to mv square over r, because it is in circular motion. So radius of this circle will be mv over qb. So whenever we have a particle which is moving in a magnetic field, it will move in a circle if the magnetic field is uniform and the particle is if the angle between magnetic field intensity and velocity is 90 degrees. So in that case there will be a circular motion. Okay, this is first situation. The time period can also be found out. Time period will be 2 pi r over velocity, which will be 2 pi m over qb. So time period is 2 pi m over qb. Similarly, frequency can be found out, which will be 1 over time period, which will be equal to qb over 2 pi. So this will be the frequency of oscillation of the electron. This frequency is also called the cyclotron frequency. Cyclotron frequency. Now if there is a situation in which the angle is other than this, so if angle is not equal to 90 degree or 270 and so on, you understand. So in that case we will have two components, one will be the vertical perpendicular component, one will be the parallel component. So let's say the magnetic field is like this. Okay, the magnetic field is like this and the particle is moving like this, neither perpendicular nor parallel. So there will be two components, one component will be the parallel component, one component will be the perpendicular component. So in that case what will happen is that this perpendicular component will have an effect of circular motion and this parallel component will move just straight. So what will happen is that this charged particle will move like this in an helical path. It will move in an helical path. So in this scenario the motion will be helical. The motion will be helical. Remember, velocity will be split into two components, parallel component and perpendicular component. On the parallel component no force of magnetism will be there, so for that it will move like this, and perpendicular component will experience a circular motion. So circular motion and ahead, so it will be like a helix. So remember these two things. So this is a very important thing, motion of a charged particle in a magnetic field. Now after this we can move on to the other topics. The next topic is the magnetic force on a current carrying wire. So if we have a current carrying wire and there is an external magnetic field present near it, so then they will apply force on each other. So the concept is quite simple. Let's say we have a wire and we want to find the magnetic force due to point P on this wire. So the this current will be I. So the force on this wire is given by I L cross B, where L is the length of the wire which we are considering and B is the magnetic field at any location. And let's say we have taken small length dl, and this will be I LB sine theta. So theta will be the angle between L and B. So this is the formula used when we need to find the force on a current carrying conductor or a current carrying wire. Now whenever we have a current loop, just like we had a dipole, so let's say we have a current loop. So when we have a current loop which is in a magnetic field, so let's say the current loop is like this and the magnetic field is going inside, magnetic field is inside, sorry, it is coming out, magnetic field is coming out. So the magnetic field is present everywhere, but we are not drawing it here because it will be a bit confusing to draw then. And let's say this is our two axis. So there will be one force acting in this direction, one force acting in this direction, one force acting in this direction, and one force acting in this direction. Let's say this is B and let's say this is L. So when we have a current carrying coil in a magnetic field, so if there is only a slight angle between the field and the wire loop, then there will be a torque that will act on this loop. So one force will be clockwise, one will be anti-clockwise. So it will try to move the loop, and that torque is given by a formula. The torque is given by I A B sine theta, where I is the current in the loop. Let's say there is a current in the loop. A is the area of the loop. B is the magnetic field, external magnetic field intensity, and theta is the angle between the area and magnetic field. Angle between A and B. So torque is equal to I A cross B. So whenever we have a current carrying loop in an external magnetic field, it will experience a torque if it is at some angle with respect to the magnetic field apart from 0 degree. So therefore there will be a torque which is given by this formula. Also this torque can be put in another way, which is mu cross B or M cross B, where M is the magnetic dipole moment, which is equal to current into area. So this can also be used for torque. So these three formulas are therefore useful. Torque on a loop.